Most people want to stay in their homes. They don't want to go to assisted living.
Right.
They don't want to go to a nursing home. We all remember what nursing homes were like when our grandparents were there, and they were horrific.
Sad. Yeah.
And so, they don't want to go to those places. And so they want to stay home. And so they're willing to pay for home care. And that's the greatest thing in the world. And so typically I walk into a home and the kids are there. They're all devastated, crying. They don't know what the options are. They don't know what they're going to do. And I show up and say, hey, do your mom and dad have long-term care insurance? Most of the kids don't even know their parents have long-term care insurance.
Welcome back to another episode of We Are Amada, and I am with the myth, the man, the legend, Mr. Ken Jenson. Now, and I say this and you're laughing, but it's true.
No.
Yes, it is.
You're very kind.
Well, there is no Amada Senior Care without Ken Jenson. And I know we've done this before. I think out of the 50 episodes of We Are Amada, 10 of them are with Ken. Not really. But
so you can turn off the camera right now.
Go listen to the old episode?
Yes.
No, you need to stay and listen. So for the 50th time.
Yeah.
I just love the story. I want you to just mention how you found Amada Senior Care, and because it's a cosmic story.
It's crazy
that I never get sick of hearing.
So I decided I was gonna start a home care company, and I went to 3 different franchises and went through their
franchise disclosure document.
No, the days. What do you call it?
Discovery
days. Went through their discovery days and was shocked at what they were telling me. Things like, you can earn as much as $100,000 a year. Mm-hmm. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is not the right company for me.
Yeah.
So I went home and I got on Google and I bought a franchise in a box. And I was going to start my own home care company.
Now, you sometimes say, and I still have it.
Why not anymore? I think I threw it out, but it was. I know it was big. It was full of paperwork and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it was hilarious.
They couldn't have emailed it to you, huh?
No.
It came in the mail.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It probably weighed 25 pounds. It was
huge
every
box.
form and thing that you would ever need to start a home care company.
How much you pay for it?
$100. No, $1,000. $1,000. It was $999.
It was.
Yeah, it was $1,000. So that was the road I was going to go down. I was just going to start that and start working on that.
That's not too close. It's okay, Julia. Audio.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Okay.
No.
So we could put it up a little higher and block my face. Anyway.
Put it right there.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So anyway, everything was great. We were working on it. We started working with the state to get our license. And somebody called me and said, hey, there's a new company franchising down in California. You should talk to them. And so I thought, okay. So I called them up and I called the corporate office, just Googled it. I said,
El Toro, the office on El Toro Road here in Orange County.
And I said, hey, my name's Ken Jenson. I live in Colorado. And I would like to talk to somebody about your franchise because I hear you're franchising. And they said, yes, we'll let you talk to Chad. So Chad answers his phone. This is Chad. And I said, hey, my name's Ken Jenson. I'm looking at franchising. Maybe with you guys, I'm looking at doing home care. And I'll come back to why I decided I wanted to do home care. But he said, is this Ken Jenson from Newhall, California? And I said, yes. We hadn't lived there for 20 years.
Yeah.
And he said, this is Chad Fotheringham. And I was Chad Fotheringham's scoutmaster when he was 15 years old.
Crazy.
And it was insane. So I told him, I will fly down tomorrow and I want to hear all about your company.
And
so we flew down the next day.
Next day.
Yeah, flew down and he told me all about it. He told me about the differences between them and what, Right at Home, Homestead, Visiting Angels, all those guys were. And it was shocking the difference. And I knew, having been in sales my whole life, I knew this was going to be a grand slam. And so I signed up. I was the number 2. Signed up the second franchise. And it's been the greatest thing I've ever done. It's been a rocket ship ride ever since.
It really has.
Yeah, it's been amazing.
What's crazy about, from my side, I remember thinking, is this even going to work?
Yeah.
Right? Because we had a great Orange County location, and we had just started launching the franchise, and Robert was the very first. But for me and for a lot of folks, it was like, we'll see.
Yeah.
And you just came out of nowhere.
Well, it was
the
just
chance
it was
of that
a godsend. It was. It's amazing.
is unbelievable.
Because we had not talked to Chad and his family since we had moved from California to Colorado, and it had been 20 years. That is just to make that connection again. So the reason I chose home care is I was reading an article in Sports Illustrated about Phil Knight, the owner of Nike.
Sure.
And he said, the interviewer was saying, what makes you so different from Adidas and Puma and Converse? Why you guys? And he said, to be brutally honest, I hit the baby boom market at the exact right time. And that struck with me. I said, okay, I got to get into something that deals with baby boomers. And this was it. This was the grand slam. This is the amazing industry that every day somebody turns 80. Every day.
Every day.
Yeah. Hundreds of people.
Yeah, not just one, but
hundreds, thousands. Yeah. And so every day you have the new potential for a new client. People used to say 65. I'm 66. So y'all might think I need home care. Not yet. but I mean, realistically, it was that thing of it's an endless supply of future clients and the ability, if you do it right, with Amada, we bring the funding source with us.
Yeah.
Which is so unique.
And
nobody else does that.
Yeah.
So we have multiple funding sources. We have long-term care insurance. We have VA benefits. We have tons of opportunities to help families figure out how they're going to pay for this.
I had somebody yesterday, great guy in Odessa, Texas, I was talking to, and I said, listen, you got to understand that sometimes a family may pay you $10, $15, $20, $25,000 a month.
Yeah.
And he goes, no, wait. He stopped me. He's like, nobody can afford that. He's like, what are you talking about? And he said, no, the government pays for that. I said, no, the government doesn't pay for that.
No.
And he stopped me cold. He said, there's maybe 3 people in my town who could possibly afford that kind of money.
Yeah.
He almost hung up on me.
Yeah, people are shocked though. But you know what? Most people want to stay in their homes. They don't want to go to assisted living. Right. They don't want to go to a nursing home. We all remember what nursing homes were like when our grandparents were there, and they were horrific.
Sad. Yeah.
And so, they don't want to go to those places. And so they want to stay home. And so they're willing to pay for home care. And that's the greatest thing in the world. And so typically I walk into a home and the kids are there. They're all devastated, crying. They don't know what the options are. They don't know what they're going to do. And I show up and say, hey, do your mom and dad have long-term care insurance? Most of the kids don't even know their parents have long-term care insurance. They'll go, hey, mom, do you guys have? They don't. They have no clue.
I've gotten more involved with my parents' finances as my dad is retired, but I still... It's not a conversation, right? We don't talk to our mom and dad about, Dad, what's your disability policy?
Right.
How much money do you have in your 401k,
Exactly,
Dad?
exactly.
It's not at least not an American conversation. I don't know if another country does, but we don't.
And make it 10 times worse is when you have a mom whose husband passed away and the kids are trying to help figure out how they're going to help take care of her. And she's very, adamant about, hey, I'm the mom. Right. I'm in charge of you.
Right.
You're not in charge of me.
Yeah.
And we deal with that all day long.
And so much of it is that counseling, right?
Yeah.
That you're doing.
So I show up and I say, hey, do your mom and dad have long-term care insurance? And they'll say, Mom, do you have long-term care insurance? She says, yeah, I have a policy. It's right here. And they pull it out and we go through it and the kids are just sitting there like, oh my gosh, you've got to be kidding me. And some of these policies, I did one the other day. It was $600 a day for each husband and wife. And over $1.5 million each.
So let's put that into context.
So they could never spend that money. If they did, say 5 days a week, 7 hours a day, it would last 60 years. I mean, it's insane how these policies work.
Yeah.
And my favorite comment is, well, I'll get some little lady and she'll say, well, my son's a lawyer and I'm going to have him look at it. I say, you go ahead and do that. And I get the call from the son. What is this stuff even mean?
Really? Because they're deep into this policy and it's gobbledygook. Even for the attorney. It's brutal. Yeah.
And so we understand
Imagine the family that has no clue.
Right.
They're at the mercy of the insurance agency.
They are.
If they don't have Amada, that insurance agency is going to bury them.
I talked to a guy today and he said, Ken, I called the insurance company and they told me I didn't qualify. I said, well, it was for his dad. His dad's 92 years old. I said, well, tell me about your dad. 92. And he says, well, he's got dementia. He does this. We have to constantly queue him. I said, he definitely qualifies.
100%.
He automatically qualifies with dementia. He says, well, they told me he didn't.
Isn't that crazy?
And I said, well, what do you think they're going to tell you? Of course they're going to tell you he doesn't.
Yeah.
Their goal is to have your dad die before he uses that policy and it goes to
that
zero.
Is their goal.
Yeah.
That's 100% what they're hoping.
Yeah, and he had
that we'll all be dead.
Unlimited benefit policy. So I sit there and tell the kid this.
Like you could bill it forever.
Yeah.
Right? It's
yeah.
unlimited,
And the funny thing is his son is older than me. But I'm talking there, telling him all about this, and he's going, oh my gosh. So I'm going to meet with him when I get back.
Imagine if you had not spoken to that son.
They would never have turned on the policy.
And maybe even have canceled it.
Right.
Right? Because you would have said, Dad, sorry, whatever you bought, it's
exactly.
for something else.
Right.
And go ahead and cancel it.
Yeah.
Which there's probably a lot of people doing that.
It happens all the time. The insurance companies right now
so
are raising rates like crazy.
Yeah.
You know what they used to pay $1,000 a year for, they're paying $7,000 and $8,000 and $9,000 a year for.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And one of the things that most people don't understand is as soon as they start using the policy, they stop paying the premiums. Yeah, it's incredible. So it's been an unbelievable gig. It's been a fun job. Like I said, I walk in with a family. They're crying. They don't know what they're going to do. By the time we're done, everybody knows exactly what's going to happen. They're all smiles. They're happy. It's the greatest career in the world.
And what's weird about it is I think for a lot of folks that are talking to us, they have a hard time adding this idea, right? That you sit down with a family, and here you are. You have a massive business, and you still sit down with the family.
It's the best part.
It's the best part.
It's by far.
And that's what people are like, well. But is it worth the time? And it's so interesting how this and we're talking a lot of times hours.
Oh yeah.
That you're sitting down with the family and walking through this whole thing. But two things, right? One is not only is it the most amazing human thing that you can do and loving, amazing to take that role of advocate.
Right.
That is so it's so important for them to do. But also business-wise,
right?
The fact that you take that advocacy and you take that time and it creates this incredible potentially revenue stream.
Yeah.
That you're serving and doing well, and also creating an amazing revenue stream. That one client.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
Right, and it just potentially keeps going and going and going and going and going.
Some of these policies, they have millions of dollars in them, and that's the crazy thing. And people don't understand how to make it work for their families.
Shift over to the VA. The VA has become a bigger and bigger focus for us, and every time we keep learning more about it and we keep doing more. What has the VA meant to you and your business? So
we were approved with the VA about 6 months ago, and it's one of those things. We used to, we live in Colorado, so we have tons and tons of veterans. We have 5 bases right in Colorado Springs, and then like 2 or 3 bases up in Denver. So finding veterans is very easy, and helping them go through the process of getting qualified to get hours from the VA has been amazing. The other thing is a lot of our veterans, if they were in Vietnam, they qualify for Agent Orange benefits. These are
benefits that follow the veteran, right? It's not about if you have a contract with the VA. It follows, and they don't know.
They don't know about it.
Heidi, who's the resident expert here at Amada, and Chad, one of the founders, they are on this mission. She was telling me some crazy stat that something like 40, I probably have this wrong, but like 46% of American veterans are not registered with their local VA.
I'll bet it's higher than that.
Which is crazy.
I'll bet it's higher than that because a lot of them, when they got out of the military, they washed their hands and said, I'm done.
The VA is amazing, but I also hear sometimes that if they did go in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s, it was a little messy.
It was ugly.
And they kind of were like, okay, I tried, I went, and I'm out. I will never go back.
Right. And that's a lot of the feeling. But when you sit there and tell them, hey, you may qualify for this, there are some benefits that will qualify for as much as $2,200 a month.
That's amazing.
And so some of these families,
for the veteran, even surviving spouse of the veteran.
It's huge. Yes. Yeah. And so especially if they haven't set aside monies for their retirement, this can help them stay on an equal footing.
And the sad thing is I guess it's not just about telling them about all these benefits, which a lot of companies do.
No, it's helping them get them.
It's that, right? Because if they go on their own and try to apply,
very difficult.
It's very difficult.
Yeah. Yep. It's hard. But we stand behind them and, hey, this is what you need to ask for. This is how you need to get there. We even help them fill out paperwork to qualify for some of those benefits.
I was just remembering that we keep sending people your way, meaning Jeff's daughter is on a mission where you are. So our CFO's daughter, Anna, she'll never see this, but Jane. I'm sorry, Jane.
Yeah.
Jane is on a mission in Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
And I was just, do you see her? Like,
we've taken her to dinner like 3 times. She's adorable. Awesome. Yeah.
Well, I was just going to tell you that Lucas, my 16-year-old, is thinking about applying for the Air Force Academy.
Oh, that's awesome. That's literally a stone's throw from where we live.
I know.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. So we'll sponsor him if he does. Really? There you go. Yeah.
So we might just keep sending folks your way.
That's
my
great.
Son, yeah, we'll go out there.
Fun.
Okay, so you've seen us grow from two franchises.
When I started my franchise, it was literally came down to California, and I remember Chad looking at Tafa, and Tafa looking at Chad and said, "What are we gonna do with him?" I don't know.
Like when you came to training.
Yeah. Training was literally. It was really funny. I told Chad and Tafa, I says, "Okay, I have zero interest in operations." And they said, "Well, we're going to teach operations." I said, "Well, you're going to teach my partner because I am not doing operations."
That is Amada folklore?
And
it's Amada folklore that you're sitting in training,
playing solitaire,
and you're playing solitaire.
Yes.
You're actually playing solitaire. While
I had zero interest in operations,
and you had a partner that was going to do that.
I know my strength, but my strength is not operations.
It is Amada folklore. Yeah. I sometimes talk about that story about you playing solitaire.
I just let him know. Yeah, this isn't going to work for me.
Today training. Did you go out to the office, the new office?
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. So the room, sometimes we'll have, because what's happening now is we have new franchise partners that come to training. But what's really cool is we also have managers and folks that are coming to run our franchise partners' businesses, and they're coming to training. And so we'll have 20, 30 people in the room. But it was you and your partner and Chad and Tafa.
That was it. It was it.
Going to training.
And I remember Chad saying, "I'm going to take Ken with me, and we're going to go do some drops," because he realized, okay, I'm not sitting through this operation stuff. And that's what we did. We went and did drops. We went and bought some Slurpees and took them to a home.
You also are credited. How are we doing on time? We're doing 5 minutes. You're also credited for so many things that I always think where would we be if you hadn't shown up? Because shameless plug. It was so many people that I would say talk to Ken, and you have been so incredibly gracious and have never asked for anything in return. To speak to so many, not just speak to people, but
I'd say 50% of the franchisees came out and visited me for a week.
They come to visit you, and they spend time. I remember sometimes you'd tell me, "Well, this dude got to the airport and said, 'I'm here.'" It's like, "What do you mean you're here?
Come pick me up.
Come pick me up." And you're like, "Okay,
I got to the point where I'd say, "Okay, stay in this hotel, rent a car." Because it was getting crazy. I had one guy who said, "Well, no, I stayed down by the airport because I saved $5. I'm going, the airport's an hour from here. It was hilarious.
Man. And so I just, the DNA of Amada Senior Care it courses with Ken in its blood. And I'm so thankful to you for how much you've given and how much time you've given. We have about 300 people here at our conference.
That's fun.
Which is really crazy. What would you say and honestly, what would you say to somebody who now in 2025 is looking to acquire an Amada franchise?
Join Amada. It's the greatest thing in the world. I have a large family, and my kids I was a stockbroker, and my kids would say, "Dad, what do you do?" And it's hard to explain. And now my kids, I say, we take care of seniors in their homes. It's the greatest thing in the world. I think I have 4 kids that work for us right now, and it's been awesome. I have 3 nurses that work for me, and it's been amazing. It's been a great career. I remember some of my boys have worked for us as like receptionists in the summertime. And I remember calling one time, and my he answers the phone. He's going, I said, "Kyle." He says, "Oh, hey, Dad, Amada Senior Care." I said, "Oh my gosh!" But it's a great awesome business. Going to some of the senior events with my daughters has been amazing because seniors love kids.
And when they're respectful. Your daughter's a nurse.
I have 5 daughters that are nurses, and I have 5 sons, 2 doctors, and 3 dentists. So it's been a great thing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
I don't know if you added that up. That is 10
children. Yeah.
That is 10 kids.
Yeah.
You've been busy.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. But I will tell you, the great thing about my company, I've never missed a dinner. I coached Little League baseball for 35 years and Y basketball for 34 years. I was able to coach all my kids in every sport that I wanted to. And so it's been a great job. It's been a great career. And it's been something that, when you sit down at the end of the day, you think back of the day, you think, it was a good day.
I love it, man. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. All right. Well, this is We Are Amada. If you're interested in Amada, just go find us.
That's right.
Thank you so much for being with us. See you on the next show.
All right. See ya.